Okay, so once you have all your shots here lined up in After Effects, then you can see my different timelines here. Then you can start working on the shot. So we have 3 shots, I believe, where Dahlia's walking, and like I said before, we just we weren't able to replicate like really realistic-looking flashes while we're filming. So we're just gonna add little lens flares, kind of flashing here and there to make it look like there's more camera flashes. So there's 3 shots like up here, as you can see, for walking, and then there's or maybe even 4 shots. Okay, and then there's this shot here, which is a transition from her kind of folding the bed sheet to her being photographed, and then there's one more shot here where her skin complexion, we were really close, and that was the last shot we got in the day. Just being tired and the makeup, all that stuff. We tried our best, but you can see there's just sometimes you just especially when you get this close, you'll see little imperfections on the skin, and I just wanted to smooth that out. So so I'll show you how I did that in a sort of a quick way. So first, let's start with this shot, transition. So this is a very basic shot. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a mask around this thing, so it's basically slowly cuts out as it goes past. So we'll create a mask. We'll zoom out here, and basically you take your mask pen tool here, and you can click it, for example, and hold it, and create a shape layer by mistake. Let's delete it. Make sure you've selected the layer that you want to apply the mask to, and with your pen tool you press the left mouse button and you hold it, and you'll get these handles. You can stretch it out, and you kind of put it, because we want to make that point very kind of round. So kind of adjust it along the shape of the bed sheet, and then let go of the mouse. And now the next point, we'll again click it, hold it, and we'll create another point like that. And this creates very soft points. Here, for example, maybe we'll create this hard point. So we'll just click it and let go of it. And then again another soft point, like this. And this doesn't have to be very detailed. So I think here we'll just create very simple points outside. And that's more or less it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this mask and go to mask, and we're going to reverse it or invert it, meaning we're only going to keep what's within basically outside of this mask. And we also extend here, and we're going to click the stopwatch next to the mask path. And right now we don't need to worry about the feather, so we'll just adjust this animation. And we'll go further a few frames, and we'll take that hard point that we had, we'll put it where this thing is, and the rest we'll just kind of drag and adjust these points, and that's kind of how you animate the mask. So go a few frames, animate it, then keep on going again a few frames further, animate it again, etc. So very simple, but it can be time consuming if you have like a very complicated shape. So this one's done. Then again, let's maybe go to the last frame where we see the bed sheet. So we'll again go here, very quickly outline that shape like that, and like that. And like I said, the rest we don't have to worry about it, and after that it's gone. So we'll go up, and maybe for now also we'll turn off this mask so we can see exactly the shape, whether we're following the shape properly. So I'll click none here, and this way we can see this whole shot. And we'll go up here, maybe a few more frames like this. And again, we'll just move these points. And you just kind of have to go through it until you've done most of the masking here. And go to the next frame, and this is already looking pretty good. And when you get it to to a point where, like I said, like here, you can again take it a few frames, and where it more or less follows the shape, then you can feather it to sort of really see how the final effect is starting to look. So again, we'll click add, and we'll go to feather, and we'll just stretch that. Just grab and drag it, and then also I'm going to turn off here so that in our comp we're not seeing the actual mask. So we're just seeing how this looks. And I feathered it by like maybe 20. And let's see. It looks pretty cool how it goes out of frame. So as you can see, it's already looking pretty well, and you know, we just have to go through it until we mask out, you know, this bed sheet completely frame by frame. So here, as you can see now, we have the bed sheet completely masked out. So to go from this shot to that shot, it just nicely, let me zoom in here, you can see as it nicely kind of reveals the next shot. And it's a quick effect. And then one other thing I noticed is that the big light behind her, and I think it would be cool if we can maybe add like a little flare, lens flare, that kind of looks like it's, you know, like it becomes stronger and it gets revealed as the bed sheets go down. Because that's simply just going to help sort of integrate both of these shots together a lot well. So here's what I'm going to do. I already created one up here, but I'll create one from scratch just to show you. So I'll go create layer, new solid, just make it black. You can name it even flare, for example. Click OK, and we can hide it for now. And let's say the effect will start somewhere here. We'll go to this frame where we see the flare, and now we'll select our flare layer, right click up here on effects, and we'll go to video copilot. I'm using optical flares, but you can also you can go to generate, and you have here a lens flare. It's just, you know, video copilot has just better looking flares. So create a lens flare here, and now we can turn on the layer, and we'll make it transfer mode. We'll make it add, and drag it up here. You can also put on add or screen, also works. Just screen is a little less noticeable, whereas screen is a little less noticeable, whereas add is just, you know, that much stronger there. So that's the thing. This is your center point, which right now we'll leave it there, and we can go here to options. I'll take the multi-iris up here. I'll click it just to add that kind of a vertical streak. And you know, Video Copilot, I mean, he's got a lot of cool presets and things like that on his website, so you can really play around with it, and you know, little effects that you can add. But so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. You can just go to videocopilot.net and learn all there is to learn about using the optical flares. But you know, this is the kind of stuff that like, you know, we're looking to do. So maybe I'll take that streak here and I'll make it a bit more intense. That, and just click OK, and what we're going to do basically is just go brightness, we'll animate it, so we'll click the stopwatch next to it, and we'll also maybe animate the position in case it moves, and then which one is it, the scale maybe too, we'll see. So right now make it pretty bright like there. Then as the bed sheets go up, obviously I want it to decrease. So turn the brightness down to 0, and the position, I don't think it's changed really. And so there, so basically as it goes here, we'll have it like that, and maybe we'll move it here so it looks like as the bed sheets just kind of reveal the light, the flare suddenly becomes stronger and stronger. And then here, by the time that bed sheet is gone, we'll just kind of move it. So it looks like it's following that light, and decrease the brightness slightly. So it just sort of looks like it flares up and then it slows down. And then we'll go to the end of the shot here. And again, just move it so it looks like it's following that light. Now you could track it, but simply because it's for a few frames, and you know, you're not really going to see whether that light perfectly matches. You know, I mean, the flare matches that light, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So like that. And then you can sort of fine-tune the motion of it. So there we have a little flare kind of coming in and out, and you know, again, you can sort of sit in there. You can adjust all the options here and of how the flare can look, and but you can already preview it and see how this shot looks. So and click preview here, and it goes from this to this. So it's like a cool little reveal from one shot to the next. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I did this shot here with we're just going to help kind of smooth out the complexion. So it's a very simple looking shot. So basically what you know what you would do, for example, in the camera, if you wanted to fix something like that, is you would add some kind of a softening effect or filter. So that's kind of essentially what we're going to do here in After Effects. So we'll create a new adjustment layer. So go here, layer, new adjustment layer, and we'll apply a filter to it, effects filter, just under blur, and it could just be pretty much any of those blurs. But for example, we'll just go fast blur even. I think that should work, and we'll drag it and adjust intensity until we see that it kind of smooths it out. So ignore those, obviously the rest of the image, but just look here on her skin. So I would say 10, maybe 12. That's like the maximum you want to go. So we'll just leave it like that, and now we can create a mask. We can also click here, repeat edge pixels. So in case we're going over the edge, you'll see those pixels and are going to be blurred out, and they won't create that sort of hollow effect. So create that, and now we want to basically isolate the effect to just the area here of her face. So I'm gonna create a mask. So again, hold my left mouse button, go to pen tool, and create these points. Like this, and go along her skin, her cheek here. This. Okay, there. Now, one thing you'll notice is, if I actually turn off the mask for now, is it fixes up their cheek, but then suddenly it changes from like this blurred, to a very sharp looking complexion. So you want to just kind of smooth it out. So we'll go to the mask and we'll actually feather it too. We'll also keyframe the mask path, and we'll just feather overall the effect. So kind of looks like it gradually comes in. So this is how it looks without it. This is how it looks with it. And as you can see, it makes a difference. It just makes that, it will make her skin complexion look that much nicer. So we created a keyframe for that mask, and this is a very simple masking job because she doesn't move that much. So it's pretty much we just have to move it, and you can do it by hand. It's pretty much faster than having to track that something, especially since, like I said, it's just a blurring effect, so it doesn't have to be exactly dead on tracking this. Her face. So yeah, just kind of move it more or less, and as you can see, it's already created only 3 keyframes. It's already tracking the face nicely. Move it here, and again we'll move it here, and move it down, and down. And now you can quickly just drag it here and just see if it's following it, and it's following it pretty closely. It's not going to be perfect, maybe as if you tracked it, but it doesn't need to be, because again, it's a very subtle blurring effect. And now we can preview it. This is how this shot looks. As you can see, it's a neat little effect that can quickly sort of make your subject look that much more beautiful. Not that Dahlia needs that kind of help, but I think it's just, when you're filming, especially when you spend the whole day on set, things can happen, or sometimes it can just be, with the kind of certain lighting condition, it can be really difficult to get everything perfect. So this is kind of a little digital, trick to help you get past those little difficulties. Okay, so now we're gonna also create a flash effect. So here's our shot. And like I said, it's just we weren't able to actually use real flashes, so we have this sort of a light here that was supposed to simulate one of the camera flashes. So we're gonna enhance it so that it really looks bright, like a real flash shoot. Because right now it looks kind of weak and just not convincing. So what we'll do is basically when we see this light goes up in intensity, we'll put another lens flare over it. And again, you can create a lens flare that's just a regular lens flare, or you can we'll be using Video Copilot. But anyways, we'll go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and then just apply the effect, Video Copilot and Optical Flares. And as you can see now, You have this flare, we'll just kind of move it into position somewhere there. So it goes over the light, and we'll animate the brightness. I think that's the only thing really that we need to. So here, when it's supposed to be really bright, like I'm really gonna expose like 400 something %. So it looks like a really bright flash. And then as we go out, we hide it for now. As this light there turns off to 0, there, I'll unhide it, and I'll also put this to 0. So essentially this flash will just go with that light, and maybe here in the middle I'll adjust it, it's maybe a bit too strong. And then I think after that it should turn off. So, and then turn it off here maybe. Somewhere there, turn it completely off, so I'll again reveal it, put the intensity to 0. And now when you watch it, you can see that flash seems to respond, and then there it goes again. So again, we'll animate it from 0 to the point where it's the strongest here, like 400, and then again to 0 as it goes out. So. And that's kind of how it looks now when you play it. Here. So as you can see, it just kind of, really kind of helps enhance that flash that was there. And we can quickly do the same thing to another shot. So here's actually, I already did this shot. You can see her walking, and I applied 2 of those. So there's a flare there, which I basically placed on the just off to the camera on the right side, if you see. So it's just kind of off screen, simulating this light there. And again, I just animated going on and off, and then I applied it again there in the back where we had the other one going off basically at a different time. So together, when you view both of these, it's just it's just that much better, because the one in the back goes on, and then the one here in the front goes off, and then both of them at the same time. And just really kind of helps bring this shot alive, and make it look believable, like there's a lot of camera flashes going on. So and it's a very quick effect too. So that's pretty much all the effects that we've done in the Dahlia music video. I mean, we did it kind of for a few other shots where she's walking with the flashes, but that's it. Once we're done, we can export those shots, or if you have them referenced in your Adobe Premiere Pro project, then you don't have to do anything. Just save your After Effects file, and that's it. But if you want to export it, then you would select basically each shot, and then click Control M, or go here to Composition and go Make Movie, and it's going to bring you to the render queue. And here you can adjust your settings for it. What kind of file format you want, AVI or JPEG image sequence, or H.264 for example, file, and click OK, and then here's your output, so where you want to save it. And I always save it in my project, so go Dahlia Fernandez, then go to footage, and I have a folder called FX shots, and I would just save it all there. Just click save, and that's it. And do it all for all these shots, and once you're done, just click render here, and it's going to render out all your shots, and then you can import them in your Premiere Pro project.